Hi, and welcome to February 2025 Patreon rewards video. So, last month, I believe I started talking about doing some illustrations for my wife's world book for her novels. And I was going to, I think I actually mentioned that I was going to try to use um, AI generation to speed up the process because it's about 25 illustrations and I just wanted to crank these things out as fast as possible. So I started experimenting with it and it's hit or miss, this stuff, because there's very little control you can have about what it generates. So um, let me talk about some of the stuff that I was learning, how I'm trying to do this, but inevitably, you're gonna have to draw. You're going to have to do the work. You still got to do the work no matter what tools you're going to be using. So, just wanted to share the process here. So, for starters, here I have this sketchbook page. And here on the left, first of all, um, earlier in the month, I decided to try to experiment with illuminated uh, type of illustration, like medieval marginalia kind of illuminated illustration, uh, just because I want to be able to do that. But one of the things about that decorative type of illuminated script kind of art is that it has a lot of vines, a lot of just plants and things like that. And they have a very specific look, and they have spirals, and um, it has a very specific look. So here on this side of the sketchbook is my attempt to figure out how to do it because I've always had trouble with this. So um, I'm going to keep on practicing that. So on the side, I want to do that um, for fun. I just want to learn to do that. So you're going to maybe see some of that somewhere in other places. Actually, you do. I'll show you other places where I've been experimenting with. Here on the right hand side is the sketches. So uh, the thumbnails here are wrong. By which I mean, I originally thought that my wife wanted portrait drawings, but what she wants is landscape drawings. So the compositions are actually very different. So I was trying to keep some of these ideas while realizing that I screwed up and I have to make these landscape. But just to let you know what these thumbnails are, this was going to be the original idea for the spy. That's all she has is like a generic spy. Like that was her description of what she wanted for the illustration. This was my original idea. There was a guy, and then there was, going through like a European city, and that eventually I decided not to do that. I decided that the spy would be better if I actually use one of my wife's main character, and she's up against a doorway or a window spying on whatever's going on over here. I thought that would probably be the best thing to do for that. Here I have a setup for um, World War II soldiers. She just wants World War II soldiers. So I did this, but here's the thing. I stole this from, let me see if I can bring it up. from this Getty image, right? Like I'm like I want something like this works, and this is already landscape, so it already kind of works, right? So this is kind of the composition. So that's what I was trying to do here, but I was doing it portrait mode instead of landscape, and here's me experimenting with some of this, and here's me trying a different group, and then here's me trying a different group. Oh no, this was me trying the general. There's a shot of she wants a general like a German general in front of an army, and so maybe I was thinking there's just people and he was walking behind them and they were like standing at attention. Then maybe he's standing in front with his arms behind his back, and then there's a army back here. So I'm still trying to. There's lots of different ideas here for stuff. Also allies. She wants a group of allies, right? And I'm like, how do I do this? How do I make it so that there's allies? So here we have soldiers. There will be some here like this in a shape like this, and then there's going to be a wall up here, and there's going to be one soldier up on top of the wall. And each one of these soldiers will have a different uniform from an ally. There's going to be a French and a British, American. So like I just try to. So I still need to have. I have a reference book with the uniforms of the army people, what uniforms they wore during World War II. It's just a book. It's just, and all it does is show you uniforms. So I bought it years and years and years ago just in case I ended up having to use something like that. And of course now I'm using it now. So I'm going to be doing that. So needless to say, like I'm trying to use like an AI generator, but I still gotta come up with ideas myself. I need to come up with the compositions, because the problem with these AI programs is that they always come up with the most boring compositions ever. There's never a story. I'm trying to come up with like something like a story or something that it's saying something, right? And these machines, they come up with images, but they don't do anything. And here I have, this is going to be, it says, the description that my wife had was a medieval wizard, right? Like a medieval wizard, yeah. And I'm like, okay, a wizard in the Middle Ages, okay. And I needed something. That's all the description. So I was thinking, okay, kind of a monkish guy, an old man. There's a library, and he's holding a glowing orb, and it's floating while he's like searching through a library of books. So I still need to come up with a good composition, but it's going to be something like this. So I'm still working on it, but that's what this is. All right, this is so I have that mini sketchbook that I have in my that I carry around in my jacket pocket, and this was some of the doodles that I was doing. Again, this is for like the marginalia thing. Just messing around with doing shapes and stuff. If I was to do something in the margin, this is the way it is. This is the way that it's open. I'm sorry. So this is blank page over here, and there's like the middle over here. So this is me drawing some more illuminated kind of shapes, like just playing around with these Celtic knots that they were doing, and so just experimenting with that sort, and with the curl. I'm going to be doing a lot of that eventually, and And here's me. I saw, what was it? I saw a kid. So my son, he had a birthday, and we went out to a pizza place. There was an arcade, and there was this little boy with a Spider-Man shirt, and I loved the Spider-Man face in his shirt. So I came back to the table where we were eating, and I just kind of started trying to doodle my impression of that Spider-Man head. It just kind of wasn't. I have a problem with Spider-Man's eyes. I don't know how to draw them. I don't know what the logic is behind them. It always gives me the most difficult time. Spider-Man's eyes. But anyway, that was what this is. So this is this month's postcard. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Here it is. It's Cowboy Grim Reaper. So it's still kind of in the same theme as I've been doing in the last 2 months with the Grim Reaper. But this time I was getting bored with just playing Grim Reaper. So I started like, okay, what if he was a cowboy? And then suddenly, like, that's cool. Like, I like the hat idea. I don't know if he should be wearing the cowl or not, but it kind of works in this one. So maybe next time it'll just be like a scarf with the cowboy hat. I don't know. Well, I'll be experimenting. This was a fun one to do. The winner of this month's postcard, by the way, is George. George, you haven't won anything in a while. Congratulations. You won this month's postcard. So, all right, George. I'll be sending this out to you. Okay, speaking of the spy. So remember how I said that I was, she was going to be looking through the window. So this is more like the landscape. And this is kind of the window thing. And there's going to be like Germans in here. But this is not quite right. But this is sort of what's going to happen. She's going to be more like this because she's facing us. So it didn't seem right. So I was thinking that she should face away. She's up against the wall, and then her face needs to be more like that. So this is an ugly drawing, right? Like, this is not pretty. This is not well drawn pretty. It's just really rough and sketchy. The reason why this is not pretty or rough and just rough and sketchy and crappy is because this is not the final. This is what I'm going to feed into the program so it could give me something so that I could start painting. So this is what the process is like for me right now. So you remember this Getty image that I was doing the comp for, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of what I want. Well, I fed this image into a program, and the program gave me this image and this image, among many, many images. I love this guy's face. This guy's face right here. I like his face. I like this guy's face, and I like this guy's face. But I do not like... But I want it to be like this. So... And there's just like, obviously, this stuff is just... What the hell is wrong with this guy's face? Like, what's wrong with this? So I decided that I wanted to keep what was good and what wasn't good, and so I took the image and I did this to it on my drawing program. I combined both images and I hodgepodged it both into a composition that felt like what I wanted to do. And so I'm like, okay, that's it. And so what I ended up doing was I took that and then I painted over it. Like I just, because one of the problems that I have with these image programs is that it's overly detailed. The detail is too much. And the details are wrong. And there's problems, obviously. So I took this and I did this. So now it feels better to me. Like I took away all the stuff. The one thing that I kept was the eyes. Like I thought the eyes worked. But I definitely added as much stuff as I could to make it work. It took a few hours. It took an hour or two. But otherwise, it's fine. So, and it saved me time, and it worked like my sketch, right? Like that's kind of what I wanted anyway. So that's good. Like it would have taken me a long time to have gotten to this end. I just didn't want. I have to get rid of the jank, right? As much of the jank as I possibly could. And I think I did. So, all right. So that's this month's rewards. So I went from this sketch here to this. And it's what I wanted anyway. So, okay. That's this month's rewards. Thank you for supporting me. I'm going to keep on doing these illustrations, and I'm going to keep showing you how I'm doing this stuff, coming up with the comps, working on this stuff. This spy one is going to be very interesting. It's not going to look like this. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm still working on it. And I'm definitely really considering doing some more Black Terror Kid comic strips. So on top of that, on top of the fact that I'm doing all this kind of like Illuminated manuscript kind of art, and I'm trying to like learn how to do that, I am also kind of itching to do a little Black Terror Kid comic strip, and I'm doing these illustrations for my wife. So, and like I said, it's like 25 illustrations, so I got to start cranking these things out as fast as possible. Hopefully this month I will get at least 2 done, if not more. Minimum at least 1, at least the spy one. But I just gotta crank these out. I don't have the time to be like, this is gonna be an opus's masterpiece. Like it's gonna be like that soldier drawing where it's just like, okay, these are cool. Paint over them, make them look good instead of having it be all janky, and move on. All right. Thank you so much for your support, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye. So I'm happy to announce that I now have a new drawing lesson called Drafu Guide to Sketching and Gesture Foundations. It's the beginning of the level 2 information that people have been asking me for the drawing website, which will teach you where to start drawing, what to draw when you draw, how to draw from observation, how to draw from imagination, how to draw what you envision, and how to discover what you ought to envision if you don't have anything specific in mind. So if you find any of this interesting, you could follow the link that you see, or you can go to thedrawingwebsite.com, look under level 2, and you'll find a link there.